Welcome to episode 3 of the London project. I'm Nebman, I'm your host, and I am in charge of Nebman Transport. If you've seen the previous 2 episodes, welcome back. If this is your first time, then I recommend you watch the previous 2 videos and come back to this one. But this is a series where I am in my fantasy London world, which I've developed myself with the key London landmarks, and we are trying to connect London up to Britain efficiently by using various transport means. In the last few episodes we set up a few bus routes. We've got local bus routes using our London buses through here on the Westminster line. Then we've got this huge bus terminal that we have established over here, which has actually become rammed. It is so busy here, and I was not expecting it. Look at this King's Cross station though, it looks so good, so good. But this is the city where we are at the moment, this is where we stand. It's slowly developing a little bit bigger, but slow and steady wins the race. Although these cities over here are turning absolutely ginormous. But nevertheless, we are going to do our own thing and go at our own pace. So, having a look at this bus station is rather busy. Got a lot of people waiting at some of these stations. So, a lot of this is very busy, and we need to try and pinpoint which ones need a few more buses, so that we can move a few more people around. So, if we have a look at our lines here, we've still got a few of these which are actually losing a bit of money. And those of you that are wondering, I've left the kind of game running for a little while just to get our bank balance up for our next project. So the people have been moving, we have been making a good bit of money. What we need to do is probably check out these lines and start adding a few more buses in. So I think we're going to there's probably no harm in just adding an extra bus to each of these lines, an extra intercity bus. So I think that's probably what we're going to do. We'll have a look at this intercity bus and we'll just go ahead and clone. You know what, we'll add two because we're feeling generous. So on the intercity lines we'll clone those two. That gives us an extra one, and then we've got the Cambridge intercity line where we'll clone another extra 2. And we'll do the same for all of these bus routes. We've cloned them, but what I'm also going to do is I'm just going to sell 2 of each buses from our Westminster and Palace line, because they're not making us any money. They're really not. So we're going to sell those, and hopefully we'll get a little bit of money back, and we'll stop losing so much money as well. So if you look how rammed this is actually heaving. So many people waiting. I'm hoping now that we've got a few more buses here, we should, not only will the buses be more frequent, but we'll be moving a lot more passengers and making a lot more money. These look pretty busy as well. The Oxford local looks pretty busy. The Reading to Oxford not so busy. We could probably drop that down to 2 buses, but yeah, you know what, we'll drop that down to 2 buses, that line there as well, just so that we can try and manage our money as efficient as possible. So we'll sell that one. Am I actually getting any money back from these guys? I don't think I am. Who knows? Oh, I think we got a little bit of money back from that one, which is good. But then for the rest of them, they can sort themselves out, and we should start to make a nice clean profit for those ones. So now that we've broadened our bus collection, we're going to allow them to do their own thing and start bringing some income in, which will hopefully bulk us up a bit on the bank account. And we're going to establish our first train line, which we're going to use the King's Cross station. We're going to run it from there, and we're going to connect up the south coast, which will be Bournemouth, Exeter and Plymouth. So we're going to work on our first train line. which will be exciting and fun because I've been waiting for trains for ages. I really like trains. This game, I don't know a game like it that does transport. It's kind of in the name, but this game really is a phenomenal game. So we're thinking about the train lines first, and it would make sense to have the southernmost line connecting up to the southern lines that go across here. I'm thinking we could have a nice. We've got decent amount of lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I think we could have two. We could have the southernmost line, which will connect up, and it'll be the local stopping service to the stations. And then I think we'll potentially have a faster train, which just drops in at Plymouth potentially, because it's a longer distance. What population are we looking at in Plymouth? 260 residents, 289. 309 in Bournemouth. So yeah, I don't see an issue with that. I think that for the time being, we'll set up the local line and then we'll start working on the bigger line. So what we're going to do is we need to establish somewhere for our train station. We don't need it somewhere too central, just need a nice spot to place our train station. So let me figure that out. So we're going to go with this kind of UK style train station, although it doesn't. I mean, it does look UK stylish. And what we're going to do is, I believe that we should just build it alongside this road and then just connect the line straight through. We can be pretty cutthroat because we've not really established Bournemouth as a city or town just yet. Let me see, does this one actually click into it? No, it doesn't. So yes, we'll go with this one. These are both kind of the same, aren't they? That's Netherlands. There aren't really any other alternatives, so we'll go with the original one, which is here. And do we want it to be a large? I think medium train terminal building is probably the best bet. We're gonna need to do some sort of terraforming here because this is not the one at the moment. It's just far too bumpy. So I might get the flatten tool out, reduce this, and then just try and flatten out some sort of an area for us, just so that we can establish a nicer sort of area for the train station. Otherwise it's just going to look trash. We don't want it to look trash, we want it to look nice. Although it's not our main city, we want the train station to look okay. So we'll get rid of this road as well, and we're going to actually destroy all of these homes that are alongside here, and hopefully flatten this bit out as well, just like that. Nice and flat, just smooth off the edges like this, so that it still fits in with the theme. And then we'll go ahead and lay down our first terminal. I'm just going to tilt it slightly like that, so that it's near enough alongside the road, and then slap it down there. And here we have a UK style train station. It says Bournemouth on it, and I think this looks awesome. This looks really nice. This is a really good model. Absolutely spot on. We don't need a huge station just yet, and we can always configure it later on if we do decide that we need to change it. The only thing I might do is, do we want a roof on it? No, I think not. I think we're fine. I am just going to put a stairs connection either end, just so that people can cross to the different platforms a little bit simpler. And here we have some further connections, which has actually changed it. Looks very different now. Why have you done this? No, sorry. Reset. Try again. There we go. Perfect. Nice. that's good. So what we want to do now is connect this line up with our King's Cross line. So I'm going to start working on pulling through the high-speed railway track. Just see if it allows us to come right through. We kind of want it to be straight for the initial part. I don't really agree with how it's looking like that though. That looks ridiculous. So I'm going to pause the game and scrap that. I'm going to make a gap here, which this is going to cost a lot of money. But we'll reconnect it up, and then we're going to try and flatten this out a bit, just like that, just so that we can flatten that, smooth it out a bit so it doesn't look too silly. Perfect. And we'll start bringing that train line through again. Okay, we have a somewhat established train connection here. We just need to connect up these roads back on, and then we can probably unpause the game. So just pop that through here. You can go back through there, though it does look a little bit funky, doesn't it? You were connected here, just like that. Hopefully now that that's somewhat better, we can probably unpause this and start to get it running. So then we need to link this train line up with King's Cross, which is going to be quite a bit of a journey, but we can probably straight line most of this, but I'm going to start off at this end and do this like so. We've got these two here, and we want to kind of curve this round quite early doors, because we've got to end up all the way over there. So we'll curve that one round. If we can increase the curve a bit to bring up a little bit more speed. We'll sit with 170, then establish the second line at the end there. That should get off my tracks. That should allow us to have those two straight, go around here, perfect. And we want to potentially straight line this and then curve it into that one, which I'm hoping won't be too difficult. It might look a little bit funny over here though, which will be a bit of an issue. What does that look like? Don't know why it does that. It looks so bad. The only thing about this game is the building sometimes. So I'm going to see if I can fix this. So this is going to be a slight tunnel connection, but it works simple enough. We're just going to retrace the line back. You're probably wondering, oh, you've got the parallel tracks mod, why aren't you using it? Well, I just want to do it manually on this occasion so that it looks pretty good. So that train line kind of cuts underneath here, goes through this bridge, and then makes its way round here straight into Bournemouth. That's pretty good. I like that. That's a nice train connection. We might see if we can change the bridge tunnel type. Is there anything that looks okay, or should we stick with this? I think we should go with... we'll go with this one. I think that looks alright. And that's pretty smooth sort of tunnel entrance, connecting all the way through here. Now what we want to do is try and reconnect this road. I don't really know why we've got this road. It's a bit rubbish. I'll be honest with you. That is a really rubbish road, and I don't know why I bother trying to reconnect it. However, got to do what we got to do. It might be worth us just completely redesigning the road, maybe bringing it from... How low down is this? I've got an idea actually. So I've established a bridge connection, but I want to kind of smooth this out to make it look a little bit a little bit nicer. So we'll reduce the brush size here to save a bit of money. Just smoothen these edges. It might make it just that little bit more presentable. As you can see, it's kind of more of a smoother transition like that. There we go, and then we've got a nice looking little bridge that you can go through here, and then we'll just link that up to the city. And here we have a nice road connection established all the way from our main city over here of Brighton, floats all the way through over here across the bridge over the railway, which looks pretty awesome, and then straight and smooth into a corner of Reading just here. That is a far better road connection, so much better. I'm almost inclined to connect it up here somewhere, but I think we can probably do that at a later date. But for now, that is so much better, so much smoother, and that's a really nice transition between the bridge, the railway, and the road. So we're happy with that. What I have done is just remove the trees, because I don't see why there were trees down here anyway. So we've got rid of those trees, and there's our connection back. So now that we've established this line to Bournemouth, we need to continue the south coastline through Exeter into Plymouth. And I think what we're going to actually do is we're going to start off with Plymouth, because we're going to probably build an end station here instead of a full-on run-through station, because there's nothing down this part of the world. So we'll figure out about putting an end station. It's probably going to be here. We'll look at, I don't think we can put end stations of these down, so we might have to go with a passenger terminus, and then we'll do some changes and adjustments ourselves. And we might even have to push it quite far back because yeah, it's quite busy over here in Plymouth. Not busy, it's just inconvenient is what I'd probably say. Even if we put a 160 metre station down, it's still going to eat into that cliff. So I think what we're going to do is probably establish a road here and then put our station there. So first things first, if we're establishing a road, we want this to be flat, unfortunately, which costs quite a lot of money, this terraforming lark. But if we want a nice efficient station, then that is what's going to happen. So we'll flatten that out, absolutely nuke our bank account again, smooth the terrain, and then we don't really want this connection here. We're going to build out a small street. What are we looking like here? Is that smooth enough? Yeah, it is. Okay. So I think we can build out a simple street here, just like that. To be fair, we could have it running outwards and then just curve round. But my only thought process is it will reduce the speed quite significantly unless we were to put the station here and quite literally run it along the border, which would mean crossing this route. Decisions. Have a look to see what this station's doing. So that's still quite big. What about here? What about here? Oh, it's just difficult. So I've decided that we're going to place our station here after we flattened out that area on this section here. I want to make this road look slightly more normal. It looks a bit weird. So we're going to flatten that out like this, and then smoothen the terrain like that, and then we'll connect this portion of road back up alongside here. If it actually lets me, it doesn't want to do it. The train station is interfering, it seems. We run a road alongside the train station? No. Can we quickly get rid of the train station and refund our money? Yes. Right, let's try this again. We want a straight bit of road, like so. And we want that to connect to whatever this was I didn't actually see. Probably some machinery, yeah. And then at that angle, we want the train station to come here. Just like that. That's at least at a straight angle from there. I want to adjust the train station slightly so that it looks a little bit more British, because it doesn't at the moment, so we'll figure that out quick. So we're replacing the platforms with the modded King's Cross sort of UK style platforms, so we put a pin those there. And then we're going to utilise some underground escalator connections, not that we need them whatsoever, but we're going to pop those at sporadic places throughout, like that. And then we might even, we get some side entrances in here, and we can there, but that's not really what we're looking for, which is a bit of a shame. We could put an interesting style roof like that, but I kind of like seeing trains come in, so we might have a look at a different roof. So we're going to go for this more modern glass style roof so that we can still see the trains coming in and out, and hopefully that looks a little bit more unique in itself. I think that looks pretty decent enough in my opinion. It doesn't need to be massive, but it certainly does the job, which is good. So we've got that connection established, which is brilliant, and then we need to feed that through to a different station, which is going to sit probably around here, and then from there we can bring it out onto the outskirts. So for Exeter, we're going to, this road might work, to be honest with you. Just connect that one up, because that's actually quite a nice straight looking road. Maybe if we put that onto the straight roads like this. Got rid of this bit. Oh, it's not flat though, we need it flat, don't we? So let's do some terraforming. So we're going to be using a generic kind of British style station. Not sure if I'm agreeing with it as it is like this, or whether we should put it on the other side. I think probably our best bet is here, and then we can try and work with this, because it looks ridiculous like that. But don't worry, I'm sure if we, that was a flatten, oops, we somehow got that looking okay. Oh dear. Oh dear indeed. We brought that out a bit, like so. Same with this section around it. And then we smoothed it off. Just a smidge like this. Don't want it to go too crazy, but just a little bit of smoothness along the edges. I want to see how our train line or tracks are going to run out of here. That can work. Could work. I don't see why that couldn't work. We adjust the bridge slightly to something more unique to Britain, like these stone arch bridges. We could be in for a decent looking railway line. Maybe something like, funny because they all look so similar, maybe this one. Just have a quick look at that. It's very unique, isn't it? Very unique, and maybe we like it, maybe we don't. But we'll pinch this one back in so that it's a double line. Then we need to run this railway line to connect to here somehow, which is going to be a slight difficulty, but I'm sure we can do it. And link that up. Then we should have that established through the tunnel underneath, bringing it out this side, slight incline onto this first bridge, back onto the flat, and then out onto the second bridge. And that is a train line established between these two. It's just about connecting this one up to Bournemouth next. We've nearly established our connection to Bournemouth. I think we're probably going to just get rid of this road here and then see if we can just bring this train line across. So, a bit weird, doesn't it? Look. Pop that here, like this. I mean, it doesn't look pretty, I'm not gonna lie, but we'll run the line back the other way. Like this. Give me collision now. Come on, don't give me that rubbish. We're basically there. What's going on here? Play ball at the moment. Pop that there. And then see if we can connect that up nice and smooth. There we go. Right, so we've got that connection. Got that bridge there, which I think is an old bridge, so we're going to have to upgrade that anyway, just slightly. We'll just keep it to something simple, like that. That can just be a nice normal bridge. That's a standard tunnel. This bridge that goes across. That runs all the way through and down into Bournemouth. Good. We need to smoothen this out a bit because, again, it looks a bit weird. Just smoothing that just a little bit, just to make it look a little bit more on the eyes, as you say. Want it looking too ugly. Over here. Bring it all around. Good. Should have our connection sorted there then. And hopefully once that's kind of up and running, start bringing some more people that have never been to London before, because it's quite a journey, isn't it? So let's begin with starting off on our initial line, which is going to be new line, King's Cross, London. And this is going to be the commuter line, which we're going to have stop at Bournemouth, stop at Exeter, stop at Plymouth, and it's going to do the same on the way back, and end up in our beautiful King's Cross station, which doesn't need to be there. Good. I think that's alright. Which platform are you going to? Going to platform 2. I might move you over platform 1, which means I'll move you over to platform 11. Why have I done this? That's connection, and I want the commuter rail to be on the inside track, just like that, so the passengers will just jump in and out, which means that that commuter rail is going to drop in nicely to station. Good. Nice, so we'll rename that one to Big T for train, and we'll call that the South Coast Line. Perfect. South Coast Line established. Next thing we need is actually a road or a train depot. So I'll find one of those and put one of those down. Got a nice looking train depot just slotted into the corner here, linking up to these two tracks. Just need to buy this a little bit with some trees, which we'll place down, and then we should be ready to buy our first train. Right, so that looks a little bit better now. A few trees, put a few bushes down here. We've got this fence running alongside the railway track, which looks cool. So that looks nice, and that's connected up nicely. So let's have a look at our first train, shall we? It is quite a distance, this journey. I wonder if we've got any diesel or electric multiple units, British themed. Oh, a Virgin train would be quite cool. Let's have a look at you. That would be pretty awesome. That'd be a nice first train to put in there. So what capacities are we looking at? 170. Not bad at all. There's a white, which they're all exactly the same. Oh, actually, that's a 170. 9.5. Okay, maybe what if we add you? Gonna let me add him? Why is it not letting me add him? How long are you? 281 meters. Oh, massive! Absolutely huge, brother. How long are you? 230. I think that's more reasonable. That's more of a normal amount. So 23 million for a train. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I hate the play, I hate the game. And you are going to be our new South Coastline train. Pause it, pause it, pause it. I want to get a good look at your face as you come out of there, son. Let's have a little look. And let's roll on out. Look at that for a train. Holy moly. Our first train has been established. Quite a sizable thing as well. Quite the girth on you, sir. Wow. Oh my god, it's so long. What the hell? Absolutely massive. Let's follow it. Follow that train. We want to see where you're going. Okay, that's a reasonable size, and now hopefully it'll start picking up a bit of speed now it's out of the depot. And we'll just enjoy the trip, I think. Why not? We're going to speed up ourselves a little bit and then just enjoy the journey of our first train line that has been established. What a treat. And here we are through our tunnel. All is looking well. Speed is gradually picking up a bit, 120 kilometers an hour on this stretch, and then that will bring us up to Bournemouth. Actually coming in at a rate of knots, to be fair. Doesn't look like we're stopping. I think we're committed through. Oh no, we are stopping. We are stopping. Crikey. That had me concerned for a minute. Here we are. Station. Is the station definitely not long enough? There's no way that that is 240 meters. How long is our station? That's just insanely massive. I'm confused.com. Let me have a look. The math ain't mathing. So you'll be pleased to know that I've managed to extend this Bournemouth train station out ever so slightly. So a little bit longer than it was, and hopefully it can fit most of a train, because that'll be annoying if it doesn't. Where is our train anyway? It's even too long for this one. What's the crack, son? Why are you so long, sir? Anyway, let's follow it through the rest of the route. We'll speed up a little bit. You're going to go through this tunnel and you're going to pop out pretty much immediately at station. Thankfully, he fits in the station. So this is a long station. And it will switch around, pick up a couple of friends. Hopefully stop at the next station, which we actually might have to extend well, which is actually going to be quite a difficulty because that's not the easiest station to extend. And we're going to run it back all the way back to King's Cross and have a little look. We'll follow the route because it looks awesome. I'm really chuffed with how it's turned out. But for the first train line, we've certainly established some goodness here. The problem is this corner, the speed is reduced greatly, but if we're stopping, there shouldn't be an issue. Does he fit? Yes, he does fit. Perfect. And we're off. Over the bumps, out of the station. Wow, this is awesome. This is really good. Really, really good. Nice tunnel. In smooth as butter under our bridge that we built. And then into King's Cross train station. Wow. Spot on, team. We smashed that. Why does it do that though? Why'd you do that, eh? That's not right. You're meant to be on this platform. Okay, stand by. Platform 12? 10. We need it on platform 10. Is that right? We want you on platform 10, which is this side, so then it won't cross over. And then that will go straight through 10. Perfect. Yeah, that should work this time. And hopefully be a little bit better. Wait, is that long? Oh my god, we're going to have to bring this platform out if we can. That's a seriously long train. Oh well, that's a problem for another day, I think. Absolutely. Right, so it turns out it wasn't a problem for another day. I've done a thing. Why are all of you on that side? I'm so confused now. But yeah, you might have noticed we've got a different train. And it's making dough. It's making dough, bro. Loads of money. What are this lot doing on platform 2? Right, wait a sec. Pause. Platform 2. Why is the train on the wrong side? I'm so confused at the moment. It's loading up from the wrong side. That's platform 1. These are all platform 2. I don't know what's going on. But let's just have a look at it. This is our new train, which is still a nice British train, of course. It's just slightly shorter so that it actually fits our train stations. That one fits perfectly, but the key main one was actually coming to King's Cross. I didn't want the train just like hanging out the edge, if you know what I mean. It'll just look a little bit rubbish, so we'll get to King's Cross and we'll decide whether it fits or not. Just arriving at King's Cross now. Right, it goes onto the right platform. Yes, perfect fit, absolutely perfect. Look how much money we're making from that. Blimey. Cool, that's good. I'm going to just analyse this a bit more because some of the math ain't mathing with the arrival of this train at certain platforms. Look at that. That's not right. So I need to figure that out. It must be the settings on the platform, so I will have a look. at this. You'll be pleased to know I've fixed it now. I've switched out all of the different platforms, so this train is now running on the correct line, which is awesome. So yeah, there we go. We've set up our first train line, which I'm really happy with. It's making us loads of money again, which is also brilliant. So we've actually, the first time in the series, we're now in profit. We started with 100 mil ish, and now we've got 100 million just over. So we're winning at the moment. All is well. Thanks very much for joining me for episode 3. I hope you're enjoying the series so far, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.